Greetings, family, and welcome to Omni-You, Grand Rising. Today we're going to talk about change. In order to create change, as we all know, the first thing that has to change is our thinking. Our minds have been programmed since birth. We have been programmed to think and act like individuals who are divided and separate. The truth is, the true self, which is the essence or the spirit or the breath of life, which is the light, which is energy, is the same light that's in all beings. That realization unites us. That alone. Then, from birth, we are given information that furthers the belief and focus the attention on the physical aspects of ourselves, which individualizes us and separates us. And then we take on more titles and identities, such as black, white, boy, girl, Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hebrew Israelite, Nubian, Native American, Puerto Rican, African, so forth and so on. We have so many titles, or we've accepted so many titles that we've created so much division amongst humanity that we are constantly competing and playing tug of war against each other. Which is why it's easy for a few to rule over the many. Because the few think as one. The few figured out a way to enslave the masses through economics, through a debt slave system. Which means to keep you in debt and constantly owing somebody else your hard-earned money. And the money, which is paper, that's supposed to be backed by gold and land and the resources, the natural resources. But now it's just paper and numbers on a computer backed by nothing. But the people who are regulating it have you going out, borrowing money to take care of your basic necessities in addition to all the other things that you want, and charging you interest on money that's not backed or paper that's not backed by anything. You're paying interest on it and giving it to them, the few who's controlling it all. It's time for change. We're coming into 2019, 400 years from 1619, which is the slave trade, when many of our ancestors were sold into captivity. Yes, some of us was already here. Some were considered free Moors. Some are known as descendants from the Olmecs. They were known as the Zoo Aztecs. Their descendant is here as well, because people have children. Then they have more children and more children, generations, and here we are, a mixture of many genes. The one thing that we have in common is what we said earlier, which is the breath of life, which is the light of the Most High. The ones of the darker hue are melanites. We have an abundance of melanin. All person, places, and things have a melanin. Your organs have melanin in it. So even if you're a Caucasian, your brain has melanin in it. Your liver, your kidney, your internal organs is melanated. Those who are of the darker hue have the melanin in our skin pigment. The melanin is what regulates your mentality, and it also regulates your immune system, your body. It's a gift. It also protects you from the damaging rays that come through from the sun. So that you don't get skin cancer. Those who are getting skin cancer are mostly European descent because they don't have the melanin that coats the body that protects them from the sun, but they are still children of the Most High, because they are children of us. If the original seed is the dark seed, then all seeds come out of the dark seed, the yellow, the white, the brown, so they are our offsprings as well. However, a bill was passed by Donald Trump called H.R. 1242, which commemorates the 400-year anniversary of Nubian descent, or what they're calling African descent, being sold into slavery here in America, and they're acknowledging the torturing, the racism, and all of the things that America have done to us to divide us and separate us further, and the reason why we're in this condition of hating each other, hating our own kind, our own self and kind. We're hating our own self and kind. They are taking responsibility for that. Maybe not at the level that we're talking about right now, they're not admitting to, but they are taking some responsibility, and we have to take advantage of that. It's an opportunity now to tap into your God mind, to go above what separates us, to start thinking above what separates us, and start focusing on what unites us. Back to the essence, the breath of life and life. So that we can get away from the debates and the fighting of thinking as an individual. Individuals are greedy. They want more for themselves. They're not thinking about what's best for all. We have to start thinking as a collective, not as an individual. We have to think about what's best for all and not just yourself. We have children that are still being born. We have to think about them and what type of environment are we leaving for them. Are we going to keep them in a debt-based society where only a few control 95% of the wealth? Are you really that selfish? We're not asking people to go to war. We're asking people to raise in consciousness. Tap into your organic self, which is pure consciousness. the consciousness you came into the world as an